Clues, there's too much good stuff. I'm just looking at like indie games that I've played or acquired recently on Steam, and I'm like, hey, this is on Switch. Oh, hey, this is on Switch. Oh, this is on Switch. Like, there's just too much Clues.
Too many
Yeah, I think there's too much Clues as well. You're right.
Too many feelings.
Hey, speaking of which, the watch party that we're gonna do on, well, right here. If you're in the U.S. and have Amazon Prime, apologies. We're gonna watch Clue on Saturday night.
So here's the thing I got to figure out if I can make it work, and that is, can I do the watch party on my smart TV?
Does your smart TV have the Twitch app?
It does.
Well, then what you should do is open it up and just find somebody that's doing a watch party and see if it works.
Okay, that's
That was
fair.
going to be my suggestion, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll need to sign in to Amazon Prime. So you'll need, like that, I guess that's the real ambiguous thing, making sure that the app that you have for Twitch is compatible with watch parties. But I assume they've
Wait, no, you can't. Watch parties right now, I think, are only on PC.
They work on Mac as well, because I tried it when you were doing.
I'm sorry, I meant when I say I meant the website.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I knew that it did a bunch of stuff when I signed in to do your Star Trek one last week.
Yeah. Now,
it, was like, now sign in. Now jump over here. Now okay it. Now we're in.
They are constantly updating things. Like, just last week, they were like, hey, we've opened it up to the entire Prime library. And I wasn't expecting that for months. So
I think this was a game of, oh, look, that Netflix app sure is getting a lot of attention. Let's get on that.
I don't know. But I'm just bummed that the thing that I wanted to do when they open it up to the entire library, I can't do because it's not on Prime anymore.
What's that?
I was going to watch all of the Bad Ben movies. Bad Ben is almost a one-man production. They're like Paranormal Activity, but on like a $40 budget. And they're so bad, but so good. Okay, one of them is actually genuinely bad, but the others are pretty good. And I genuinely enjoy them. I watched them all a while back when they were on Prime. And I was like, this is great. Because they're really cheesy and really, low budget. But there's like an earnestness to them. Like, he wasn't out to make bad movies. And you could tell he's enjoying himself and trying. Unlike, some places, some people that like set out to make a bad movie and you succeeded. Good job. But it turns out they're not on Prime anymore because he pulled them off of Prime because I found him on Twitter. He said they slashed what he was making per hour of the movie streaming from 15 cents to 1 cent. And I went, damn.
That's a smaller cents.
That is not many cents.
That is not many cents at all.
That's not even 2 cents.
So, yeah, I understand him pulling them off, and I think that's really shitty of Amazon because it's not like Amazon doesn't already have enough freaking money that they can't pay these people, but...
Hey, they've got to hang on to that money to not pay taxes.
Clearly. So, yeah.
I was sad because I had suggestions for you when you were asking for stuff last week, and every time I saw them in Amazon, I'm like, oh, that's the thing. Oh, Stars.
Not on Prime.
Not on Prime.
Yep.
On whatever. And, like, that's too bad because I thought it would have been really fun to watch through some Gen 1 Transformers because Gen 1 Transformers is super corny, but fun to watch in a group.
Yeah, so the last, 3 weeks? Yeah, we've been watching Star Trek The Next Generation on the watch parties, but people are losing interest in that rapidly. So I decided we would switch it up and watch Clue this week because it's one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So
it's the best game adaptation film.
Oh, yeah, by far.
That's fair, yeah.
It's also one of Tim Curry's Best Things Ever.
I think it's my favorite Tim Curry role.
I know it's mine, but I'm sure there's
Might
some
be
that I
my
haven't seen.
second favorite after The Hunt for Red October.
Wait, as a Tim Curry role or just as a movie?
As the Tim Curry role. I thought he was great in that
okay.
film.
That's fair.
But then again, everyone was great in that film.
That is true.
Like,
Go watch The
there
Hunt for Red October. Is that on
a
Prime?
meme circulating once, probably not.
I don't know. Let me look. I don't think so, though.
There was a meme circulating once where you could tell a lot about someone's personality based on their favorite Tim Curry movie. And it became abundantly clear just how many of my friends super into Rocky Horror. And I kind of knew that already, but the fact that they were
It's on
ranking
Amazon.
Rocky Horror...
Showtime and Stars. Boo.
Yeah, lame. They were ranking that over other Tim Curry movies, and I'm like, I'm not saying Rocky Horror is bad. It's not bad, but I put Clue above Rocky Horror in my personal Tim Curry listing every time.
Agreed.
Yeah. Excuse me. I've actually only ever seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show once in college, and it did not do anything for me. When it was over, I went...
It's not really my thing.
I don't get it. And,
I understand why people
my girlfriend
like it.
slapped me.
Ooh.
She was like, "What do you mean you don't get? What's wrong with you?" And I went, "Hey, I just didn't get it."
I think it's one of those things that an entire subculture has spawned around and inflated to a level beyond what it can deliver on. Again, it's fun. I enjoy watching it. It's a neat thing to have on, but it's not my thing.
Yeah, like I enjoyed it, but when it was over, I'm like, I don't get why this has the giant cult following. Because she was talking about dragging me to see Rocky Horror in, was it Raleigh?
Oh, going to one of the shadow plays?
I guess. And I said,
Yeah,
I've never even
Raleigh.
seen it. And she went, "What?" I was like, "I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show." She said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like,
I think a lot of people really assume that everyone has seen Rocky Horror when really we've just heard the time warp 10,000 times. But yeah, like you were probably being strung along, or at least attempted to be strung along to Rialto, which has been doing Rocky Horror every Friday.
that was it. Yeah.
For like 40 years or some nonsense since it came out. And it's a big subculture thing, and it's something that like a lot of NC State students get pulled off to at some point by their like upperclassmen, and it's kind of just like a recurring thing. And like Shadowcasts are fun. It's a neat idea. Like I dated a girl who did that for a while. I never went though. It's not my thing. I totally get the appeal of it, but it's not my thing. Like I'm also not a theater kid. And I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question. Were either of you drama kids in high school?
God, no, I was not any kind of kid in high school.
The closest I was to that was I did like sound and lighting and
You were a
stuff.
techie. Nice.
But like not formally so much as they needed someone who knew how to do these things, and they would grab me once in a while, but like that wasn't my thing. Like as it turns out, I'm capable of pushing switches when given a script, which apparently is difficult for a lot of high school students. But my thing is like I like 3 of the songs in Rocky Horror. There are more than 3 songs in Rocky Horror.
I do love "Damn It, Janet."
That one's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's one of those things where the people that are into it are super into it, and I totally get that. I have plenty of crazy hobbies. There's like 10 Bulbasaurs right here. I understand. I get that. But it is one of those things where it wasn't my thing, and I think people that are sufficiently into it sometimes have trouble understanding why someone else isn't.
Yeah, well, that is a big part of nerd culture, right? That people who are really into a thing don't understand when other people aren't into that thing.
Maybe I'm just not a good nerd because
a subgenre.
Like people, like when I would tell people, Well, like, oh, you have a podcast? What is it about? I have to go, oh, it doesn't matter. You don't care. And I don't want you to know. I don't need you to know. You won't understand. Just stop right now.
I think when it comes to nerd stuff, a lot of times, like, some of the traits of nerds are that we take a thing that we care about and we make it personal and important to us. And we feel like if other people don't like it, they don't like us.
Yeah.
And then we get super defensive. And that's why nerds hate each other too.
That's true. Because I do hate nerds.
We are all competing for interest. And like at the end of the day, practically, if not actually, none of the things I'm into are worth that. Like,
yeah.
I have a lot of things that I personally enjoy a lot of, but I don't have anything where I'm like, you need to see this. Or we can't be friends. I don't have anything on that level.
Yeah, there's like The Princess Bride and Clue, and that's about it as far as that. Like my mom, oh my god, I told my mom the Princess Bride was on Disney Plus and she should watch it. And she went, I've already seen that. I said, yeah, but you should get the old man to watch it because I know he hasn't seen it because of the name. And she goes, I think I've seen that. And I saw The Princess Bride too. And I went, no. She goes, what? I'm like, no, you didn't. She's like, yeah, I did. It had Julie Andrews in it. I'm like, that's The Princess Diaries, Mom.
I was waiting for how this paid off.
She goes, what? It's like, that's The Princess with Anna Hathaway? She goes, yeah. I'm like, that's The Princess Diaries, Mom. She's like, okay, wait, which one's The Princess Bride? And I said,
the most
As You
perfect
Wish.
movie.
She goes, what? I said, that's one of Andre the Giant. She goes, no. I'm like,
you killed my father, prepare to die.
Yeah, I'm like, you killed my father, prepare to die. She goes, no, he's alive. I'm thinking of killing him. I'm like, what? No. Oh my god. Like,
you have not seen this movie.
I was like, you know who Robin Wright is? She goes, yeah. I'm like, it was her first movie. She goes, oh. No? I'm like, it's got Columbo reading to the kid from the Wonder Years as the framing device. And she goes, Peter Falk? I'm like, yes. She goes,
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh my god, go watch it. Go watch
do I need
it.
to send her a copy? Because
it's on Disney Plus. She can just watch it.
Yeah.
But like, that just floored me. I'm like, what?
It is a very clever movie.
I was like, the old man would even like it. She goes, are you sure? Because he doesn't like anything. I said, it's got comedy, it's got romance, it's got action, it's got storming the castle, it's got Andre the Giant. She goes, I don't think that last part would actually convince him to watch it. I'm like, just what? Do you like Mandy Patinkin? She goes, I don't know. I'm like, the guy from Criminal Minds, the first, wasn't that the show he was on? I think it was Criminal Minds. I'm like, the first few seasons of that. She went, oh yeah. I'm like, he's one of the main characters. He's awesome. She goes, well, it sounds good. I'm like, oh!
It's really good. So
has she watched it? It's one of the best movies ever, Mom. She goes,
so has she watched it yet?
No, that was just a couple days ago. And it takes a while for things to sink in.
When she does, you have to report back on that.
Hey, if they ever do watch it, I will report back.
Yeah.
You need to force them to watch it.
I can't do that.
I feel like this is one of those things where nearly everyone I know who's watched The Princess Bride obviously enjoyed The Princess Bride. But I'm a little hesitant to assume that someone rolling into The Princess Bride after everyone telling them it's one of the best movies ever will get the same experience. It's very, very good. I greatly enjoy it. It's one of the most quotable films ever. And not a moment is wasted. Like, it is one of the closest things we've ever seen to a perfect movie. Can't stress that enough. But I'm always worried when I have something that I think is that good and I give it to someone else.
Like, I know Mom's sense of humor. Mom will absolutely love it. If she hasn't, I'm certain Mom has seen it at some point. I don't see how she made it through this many years with me as a son without seeing it. But
the only other movie that I can think of that is as efficient, and like efficiency meaning every scene contributes to something and builds something in a meaningful, consistent way.
Ghostbusters.
No. I love me some Ghostbusters. It does not contribute like that at all.
No.
It's a bunch of fun vignettes that add up as a fun character piece. Like that's all definitely true. But no, like when it comes to nearly perfectly put together movies, I would have to say Die Hard, where literally every scene matters. Everything fits together perfectly. It's like the closest thing I've seen to a perfect movie, and is in my mind still the best action ever made. But like everything adds up to something. Nothing is extraneous. Everything matters, and it's also a fun movie to watch. Princess Bride is in that boat too. Ghostbusters is very close, but there's a bunch of scenes in the first Ghostbusters movie where I'm like, they're SNL guys having fun with a budget, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
No. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place at Christmas. There's a difference.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. Die Hard is a Christmas movie if you want it to be one.
Yeah, if you want to be wrong, sure, you can make it a Christmas movie.
I know that saying Die Hard is a Christmas movie is like the fun go-to answer, but while I watch it on Christmas, it's because it's a tradition to watch it on Christmas. So if that makes it a Christmas movie, then yes.
Sure.
As a movie set at Christmas, I think if they'd set it at a different point in the year, it would have been mostly the same. He would have just been using like, postal service tape instead. That would be about the main change. But I think whether or not it was a Christmas movie before, it has become a Christmas movie with our public treatment of it. It also admittedly features a guy crawling down the chimney to bring just desserts. So it's kind of like that too. That said, it is not my favorite Christmas movie. I just think it's probably the best action movie ever made.
What is your favorite Christmas movie?
I don't really know. I sort of change it every few years, but it's not Die Hard. I really like Tokyo Godfathers, which is Satoshi Kon film set at Christmas. That's a really good movie. This past year, I watched Klaus, and Klaus is an amazing Christmas movie. It's too new for me to say it's the best Christmas movie. I need that to have time to have meaning. But if you didn't see it before, then this year, whenever Netflix pops it up again, watch Klaus. It's really, really good. It's definitely the best modern Christmas movie I've seen. I have trouble thinking how far back I would have to go to find another movie that I like as much as Klaus as a Christmas movie.
What is who's in that?
I got to go Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's a fair one.
That's an excellent one. I got to go with okay, I don't know about favorite, but as far as being one of the best Christmas movies, I got to go with Home Alone.
The first one?
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's fair. I assumed, but I have to ask.
It doesn't have a cameo by, the great Evil, so
that's true.
That's a plus. But I like everything about the way that Home Alone is put together is just amazing.
Home Alone definitely taught me as a child that it's okay to murder people if they're sneaking into your home.
Yeah. If you're a kid.
Well, now we're getting picky. But yeah.
Let's see. Muppet Christmas Carol's right up there. That one might actually fall under my favorite. Also, Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Which I had forgotten is only like 25 or 30 minutes long.
You want to know a movie that has aged absolutely terribly but is still amazing for Christmas? Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
It's not a good movie. Never going to claim it was a good movie.
Thank goodness.
It is a movie.
It's one of the very few movies I've seen that more accurately reflects the absolute hell that is trying to get a child's wanted Christmas present around the holidays.
Yeah.
And it also has something that you'll never see in a modern movie, which is a throwaway joke in which a man threatens a bunch of people with a bomb The bomb goes off, and then everyone just sort of laughs and moves on.
That is correct, yeah. Was that man Sinbad?
It was Sinbad.
Yeah.
Sure was. Like I said, it's not a good movie. Don't think it's a good movie. But if you haven't seen it in a long time and you want to just have this moment where you're like, man, I'm glad I don't have kids. Good movie for that.
What if you do have kids though?
If you're living it, don't do it. Then it's just flashback.
Okay.
Like,
I was gonna say I have that thought like daily.
Like, if you want to avoid having children, just sit on more group calls where people have children and children poke in every 3 seconds to remind you they exist.
I have thought, like, Clues has that thought daily. I have thought about getting I'm glad I don't have I'm glad I don't have kids tattooed on me somewhere. Like,
yeah.
Ouch. I know there's some other Christmas movie that I desperately love. Oh my God, A Christmas Story. Duh.
Yeah. My wife has never actually seen A Christmas Story all the way through. She's seen bits and pieces of it overlapping, like seen the entire film because Turner runs it every Christmas season for like 2 days,
like 48 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she's caught bits and pieces of it out of order but overlapping. So she's seen the whole thing, but not in order contiguously. So one of these days, I'm gonna make her actually watch the whole thing.
Do it in like June, just because it's funnier that way.
When I was really, really small, my grandmother had a VHS copy of a 1985 Christmas movie, appropriately named Santa Claus the Movie. And I watched that.
I remember that movie.
It had Dudley Moore in it.
Yeah, it did.
I really liked that movie as a child. I'm afraid of watching it as an adult. I'm so afraid it would be god awful. But I have really good memories of it as a child.
I do too, actually. You're right. I don't think I want to try to watch it again, though, just in case.
It was so fun as a kid. It's kind of like what would happen if some of the scenes from Elf were done like 20 years sooner. Because there are a lot of overlapping plot elements where like an elf ends up in New York and tries to help out like a capitalist and things go bad. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand Elf. I've watched Elf and when it was over, I went, I hate this movie. It's got to be like an age thing.
It is super, super nostalgic for people under the age of like 30.
Because like I just by the time it was over, I was like, did somebody shoot him? Like
I see where it would be fun.
I'm also not a huge fan of Will Ferrell when he's being silly.
It broke one of my Will Ferrell rules. And really, it really broke one of my movie rules, which is I really don't like it when you have a big, dumb moron man character and then super hot girl who hates him is randomly into him. I just hate that in like all films. And it does that in Elf. And like the fact that his character in Elf is mentally a child does not make that in any way, shape, or form better.
No, the opposite, in fact.
You are not allowed to sell me this plot. I don't like that. Like, cut the romance element and just make it fun and we're good. But I was not comfortable with that, and that made me uncomfortable during a lot of the movie. There are scenes of it that are good. I do like a lot of the scenes in the movie. It is a lot of fun watching Will Ferrell get to do dumb Will Ferrell stuff in an environment that actually supports that. But the romance part made me uncomfortable, and I think that interfered with my ability to enjoy and rewatch the movie.
Fair enough.
But that said, it did give me that gif where he hits all the buttons on the elevator and then walks out, and I have used that many times. So it gave me something. The reaction of the guy in the elevator when he does that, just staring at him like you're the most evil thing I have ever met, priceless. Absolutely priceless.
So how come Christmas gets all the love?
Commercial holiday?
But no, I mean for like movies. Like
Commercial holiday.
Like there aren't really like Valentine's Day doesn't.
It's a terrible holiday. Stop it.
Agreed, but it doesn't get. Well, Christmas is a terrible holiday. What's your point? But like
It's
it doesn't.
still better than Valentine's Day.
Well, most things are, yeah. But like it doesn't. Like it just has romantic comedies as a genre. That's like Halloween has horror movies as a genre. There are very few movies that are about Halloween, and the Halloween movies, only a couple of those count. Like
Christmas is a globalized holiday where practically no one goes to work.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Like all the kids get out of school. No one has to go to work with a few, obvious exception. But unlike every other holiday throughout the year, it is not locked into a specific country. And if you're going to do a movie set at a point in time where you want to have, commercial nonsense, family themes, whatever lazy thing you want to throw in there, you could just make it a Christmas movie. It's easy. It sells. People like to stay home and watch it or go to theaters and watch it.
That is a good point.
The same reason that Christmas music is what people record when they're tired of coming up with new hits. They just do a blank Christmas and sing like 12 public domain songs.
Yeah. Maybe I should do it. Maybe we should do a Christmas album.
I don't think any of us can sing, but I think clues.
I don't think that stops most people that do Christmas albums.
Yeah, that's true. And speak for yourself. I can sing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you're on ukulele. You can't do both.
We have a multi-track recorder and editing software.
Well, you heard it here, Chewie. Clues is going to do everything.
Yes! What holiday would I like to see more covered? I don't know. Arbor Day. I don't care. I was just bringing up a point.
I think Christmas also has enough imagery that they have something to play with.
There's only been like one Easter Bunny movie, and it was a giant pile of crap.
Which one?
I don't know. It had one of the Chris's in it. They all look the same.
I mean, yeah, to Chat's point, there are definitely countries that don't Christmas, but when we're talking about movies made in America, it's going to be Christmas.
Hop. That's the one I meant.
Huh.
Hop had... No, James Marsden. I'm sorry. He just looks like one of the Chris's.
I think really I don't think holidays are a good source of movie plot.
I don't think
personally.
Holidays are a good. Like, bank holidays are fine, but any sort of capitalistic
bank holidays
nonsense
have the tendency to surprise me because they're like the 2 times a year I try to go to the bank because I have that day off and don't make the connection. I'm like, wait, what? Why are you closed? I don't know. Pi Day. Pi Day needs more movies.
Oh man, we could just watch Pi on Pi Day, and then we could all be depressed.
That movie gives me a headache.
I see what you did there.
Not even an intentional pun, but watching that scene, and you know which one I mean.
Yeah,
gives me a headache. My head physically hurts watching that scene. Like, I saw it in a theater.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know about all that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It has a really good soundtrack, though.
The movie Pi.
Yeah, I don't know this film like at all.
It's I enjoy it. It's really good, but
it's a good movie. It's just uncomfortable to watch in one scene. It's one of those really weird and surreal movies that you kind of have trouble telling when it's set because it's full of weird anachronistic nonsense.
Yeah.
And it's black and white.
It's by Darren Aronofsky, the same guy who did Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
So, and it was what, 2 years before Requiem for a Dream. So he was clearly working through some shit.
Yeah. Like the baseline premise is that you've got this kid who stared at the sun when he shouldn't have, and that somehow makes him really good at math, and then his life gets weird.
Yeah, and then weird shit happens, and then that scene that gives him a headache. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's on something right now. Is it?
It's a good movie. Like,
Netflix?
check it out if you're bored and you've got like, it's not that long. I don't think it's more than 90 minutes long. But yeah,
Pi is currently on. Oh, it's on Prime. Okay.
Oh, well,
Clues,
there
how do you
go.
feel about numerology?
Not great.
It's a thing in Pi.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
This is my shocked face.
Oh, yeah. See that. But yeah, I feel like Pi Day gets movies. We just need more movies featuring math or delicious desserts. I'll take you.
And not having sex with said desserts.
That is important. You shouldn't do that.
Man,
That's not what those desserts are for.
it's amazing the difference that like 10 years can make. Because when American Pie came out, I thought that was hilarious. And then I watched it years later on Netflix or something, and I watched it like this. What? Why?
Yeah.
I used to like this? What the fuck was wrong with me?
You were sufficiently closer to the target audience.
I was, yeah. I don't remember what year that came out.
Like, I remember around that period of time, we were in the teen movie.
It came out in 1999, so I had just left high school, so yeah.
Yeah. Like, the really heavy onslaught of teen movies of the 90s, culminating in the parody movie, Not Another Teen Movie. I will say that Not Another Teen Movie was actually a good parody, which is weird because it was in the era of like Scary Movie and a lot of stuff that were not good parodies.
Well, a lot of those early something movie, like the first Scary Movie was actually pretty good as far as being a parody movie.
It was a little bit closer to like what I would expect a parody to be, but those got off the real hard.
At some point, they stopped being parodies, like in the intelligent sense, and just started being just shitty references to various things.
They became reference movies. They were like Family Guy jokes.
Yeah, exactly. But when like Not Another Teen Movie was good, I'm pretty sure the first Scary Movie probably still holds up. And it feels like there was another one or two back then of the something movie that were at least okay.
I just know that by the time they got to like Epic Movie, this was garbage.
Oh god, yeah, they went downhill fast.
But I maintain that Not Another Teen Movie was the perfect recap of like 10 years of that genre. And it did it really well. And it also features Captain America with the banana up his butt.
Like you do.
And that's amazing. Because later on, America's ass, we got there. We got there.
What are other good parody movies? So obviously, Clues mentioned Airplane in the chat.
Airplane is the best parody.
Yeah, like straight up.
Like that's not even up for debate. It's the best
like it's so good that it's more famous than the movie it's a parody of.
Yeah, totally.
That literally no one remembers anymore. I don't even remember what it's called. Was it Airport?
It was Airport and Flight something. I think it was a parody of two movies. But
okay.
Regardless, like, who cares? It's Airplane. We know it's Airplane.
Yeah.
Airplane's an amazing film. I have shown Airplane to people that are much younger and have never heard of it, and even they're laughing at it. Like, there's some things that are like, ooh, because, like, the comedy of Airplane is very, very 1970s.
Yeah, very of its time.
Oh, my.
0 Hour was the name of the film that it most directly parodies.
Okay. Yeah, Airplane's super offensive in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
You acknowledge that when you sit down to watch it.
It is a product of its time.
Yeah, and also, as noted, yes, from Floppy in the chat, like Mel Brooks films. a lot of them are amazing parodies.
Yeah.
Although,
Blazing
again,
Saddles is still great.
very much a product of their times.
Oh yeah.
I am one of the outliers who did not really care as much for Spaceballs. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me.
I think that parts of
I didn't either.
Spaceballs are just amazing. Like
Yes.
there are pieces of it that are just incredibly inspired.
Mhm.
But even when you stitch them all together, it's not as good as you remember it was when you go back to watch it again.
It's really not. Yeah. Basically everything with Dark Helmet and his
Colonel
subordinate.
Sanders?
Do what?
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. Like all of that is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, Saint Seagal threw 100 bits. I'd love to stay through to the end, but I've been up since 2 a.m., so I'm out. Night, fam. Good Lord.
All
Yeah,
right.
go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed. You sleep well, man.
Ugh.
I could totally use some of that
Yeah,
myself.
I
I woke up this morning at like 7:50 for no reason. I just woke up.
Nice.
Like,
No
when
way.
you're going down the list of Mel Brooks movies, like Blazing Saddles is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, way, way up there. And it's not the best, but I have really good memories of Men in Tights. I would not rank it that highly if I'm being objective, but I personally have a lot of good memories of Men in Tights. To this day, I will occasionally make the joke of "Summon the locksmith," and it will always be funny to me.
Even though I'm pretty sure it was called The Locksmith. I've said that to you so many times, and you don't
Sure.
care. Did
just
you
where
know?
my brain
According to Wikipedia, it was it parodied Zero Hour, and borrows many elements from Airport 1975 and other films in the Airport film series.
Nice.
I had no idea
There were so many.
there was an Airport film series. There are 4. Airport 1975, Airport 77, and The Concorde, ellipsis, Airport 79.
That's probably why I remember there being numbers and thought it was a flight thing. That makes sense.
That's
Also,
so
because we're
weird.
talking about these, don't bother watching Airplane 2. Just don't. There's no reason.
I seem to remember that there was one really funny gag in Airplane 2.
I don't remember any funny gags in Airplane 2. I just remember that Airplane 2 literally reused footage from Airplane 1 in the opening shots to eat time. And
I
they
seem to
then
remember you
repeated
telling
the
me
whole
this, and then I watched it, and I went, it's not as bad as you're remembering. Like, as
Well,
far
that's
as
good.
the amount of footage they reused.
It's possible I'm just skewing my memory on it. I know they also redid a bunch of the jokes, and that
That's
might
true.
be skewing it as well, because, like, they straight up did the same thing of, you know, person freaking out and people walking up and slapping her and getting progressively more violent. They redid that in the courtroom scene, too. And I'm like, okay, I've seen this joke before. All right. Let's see chat.
I don't remember the Naked Gun movies.
I forgot most of the Naked Gun movies, but I really did like the TV show that it was based on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that the
From the
TV
Files of
show was
Police Squad?
actually better.
Police
what it was
Squad was
called?
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, Police Squad.
There are not that many episodes. If you find it streaming, just watch it. It's good. It's funny. It's clever. Police Squad was amazing.
Let me look it up. Police Squad is...
I want to say it was like a 1-season wonder.
Yeah, I think there were only like
spelled
6 or
it.
7 episodes. It was really short.
Pretty sure you could fit it all on a DVD.
They probably have.
Yeah.
Time to find out. Let's go to Amazon.
I'm sure they released it on a DVD at one point.
Police Squad is not showing up on Just Watch.
Gross.
Police Squad, the complete series on DVD for $9.99.
Oh,
That
wow.
is a valid $10. That's a valid use of $10.
Yeah, they've also got a Blu-ray for $13.99. Does it have special features? Or is it at least just all
Are
on
the
one
special
disc?
features the Naked Gun movies?
Ah!
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and add that to the cart is what I'm going to do.
That sounds like it. Yeah, I think that Police Files were fun. I didn't watch all the Naked Gun movies. I mostly remember seeing the posters for them at Blockbuster, but not actually watching them. I think I saw one of them, but not all of it. I think I came in like halfway through it when it was on Cinemax or something.
Fun fact, the first two, I'm pretty sure, have O.J. Simpson in them.
Yes, they do. That's not terribly uncomfortable now, except that
nope, not at all.
Thanks to YouTube, I now know that O.J. Simpson was in one episode of Adventures in Wonderland on the Disney Channel that they filmed right before the news came out and never released because the news came out. But they did release the book adaptation with all the pictures and the plot because that went to print before the news came out.
Oh.
That's real
comedy.
Awkward. Disney, real awkward. Good time.
Let's see. Yeah. I got nothing. I was trying to think of other like good parody movies, but
they're not generally well served because you have to be good at writing a parody, and it has to deliver, and it has to come at the right time for people to notice. I don't know how often that actually happened. That's pretty good.
Chat said wrongfully accused, and then in all caps, the movie, not O.J. Simpson.
That was well played. I appreciate that.
I almost died.
Thank you for not dying.
What was the John Lovitz movie that was a parody of Dangerous Minds? And all of the other, well-educated white person goes into community and rehabilitates high school kids genre.
Oh, yeah.
Don't remember which movie that was.
Yeah, no, but I think I know what you're talking about.
High School High.
Was that really just it? Okay, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
I did a search for John Lovitz movies, and that's the first one I saw.
Yeah, that would be it. It's another one of those things that, like, I'm not going to say it was a good movie, but it had one or two lines that I remember. Because they're just, like, it's directly Dangerous Minds done again. But when they did it, they get to the scene at the very end where, like, all of the kids are proving that they learned a whole bunch of things. And one of them goes, "Who was responsible for the first moonwalk?" And one of them goes, "Michael Jackson." And everyone turns and stares at him. He goes, "No, I'm just kidding. It was Louis Armstrong's brother Neil." And they're like, "Good enough."
Wow.
And, like, it's not a good joke, but it stuck with me forever. Yeah. Really, that whole genre was pretty awful. One of the, like, more local versions of the white savior thing that's really problematic in film. But, like, Dangerous Minds was apparently really successful, so a whole bunch of other things like that came out. Dangerous Minds being the first movie to, unfortunately, put Gangster's Paradise in its trailer. Definitely not the last.
I mean, it was written for that movie, so...
It made sense there.
Yeah.
Not in Sonic. Not in Sonic.
What? That's why I don't watch movie trailers, I swear.
The original bad trailer for Sonic had Gangster's Paradise as the background music for no reason.
Wow. Okay, I found a list of some rando on the internet that says the best parody movies. Are you ready?
Okay.
Oh, I'm ready. Hit me.
All right. Young Frankenstein. Yes.
Okay,
that's
yeah.
fair. Yeah, that's great. That's an amazing parody movie.
Airplane. Yeah.
Yes.
The Naked Gun, of course.
Sure.
Here's one that I'd forgotten was a parody. Austin Powers.
That's a Bond parody. You're right.
Yeah, the first one is
first
totally
Austin Powers. Sure.
A brilliant parody. Yeah. Galaxy Quest is technically a parody.
Is it a
No, it
parody
is
or the best Star Trek film?
movie.
It's
Star
both.
Trek movie.
It-
No, it
Yeah.
keeps the evens are good thing going. You slot it in after Star Trek like 9, and then we have a good one, and then it goes back to being a bad one. Like it's better that way. And then the first new Trek thing, for all of its flaws, was a fun to watch movie.
Yeah.
And then we skip the bad Khan remake, and then we get to the third one, which is a random episode of original series that happens to have the new cast and was fun because they do stupid crap for an hour and a half, and it's fine.
I still haven't seen that one, but I
haven't
should.
either.
It's fun. They're not trying to remake an old thing. It's just hits all the boxes of like, and then we go somewhere and something stupid happens and we have to fix it. And we're not trying to do old movies anymore. It's just good. And then they play Beastie Boys because they do that every movie, and that's still weird. But it actually served a purpose this time, if you can believe that. So
then we have Scary Movie. And another thing that doesn't come to mind as a parody, but it clearly is, Shaun of the Dead.
that's fair. Yeah. Shaun of the Dead is a parody movie. Like, really, so was Hot Fuzz. Thing.
Yeah.
Chifuji has brought up that the Orville is secretly the best Star Trek show, and
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree. It is shockingly good.
And I wonder if he brought that up because I just put up an odds and ends where you brought it up.
Oh, excellent. That does sound like a thing I would say. It's really good. You should watch it.
As a matter
if
of fact, you
haven't.
said it on 2 of the odds and ends of the 6 that I've put up.
Oh, sweet. Well,
Well,
then
2 of the-
consider this an odds and ends.
2 of
I
the
have
3
not.
Monday Night Magic ones that I've put up.
I haven't seen the Orville, but I appreciate the fact that it came out at the same time as an actual new Star Trek show, and people talked about the Orville instead.
Yeah, the Orville is totally worth your time. Like, absolutely worth your time.
Do I forget that he's Seth MacFarlane at any point?
Yes, not often, but sometimes.
Okay. Because that is the thing.
Man. What about what about best Alan Rickman movies? I think we've already talked about all of them.
We've touched a lot of them.
Galaxy Quest, Die Hard.
I think Alan Rickman was the best cast person in Harry Potter.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where like Snape in the books was like hideous Gargamel looking dude, and then after Alan Rickman, people are suddenly sympathetic to the book Snape just because of Alan Rickman. He is quite powerful.
Ooh, Robin Hood.
Yep.
Robin Hood was a pretty good movie.
And he was the person having the most fun in that movie.
And
Probably,
he was the best thing in that film.
Yeah.
That's probably also true.
Yeah, I watched it not long ago, a year or two ago, and you're right, yeah. But I think it's because he was the one having the most fun. Like, he was just there. He knew that he was over the top way more than literally the entire rest of the cast. He didn't give a damn. And it worked.
I think my favorite Alan Rickman is probably still Galaxy Quest, though. Like
That's a really good one.
like just the fact that that Alan Rickman is only kind of pretending to be really annoyed by all of this is what makes it really work for me. Like, every time you hear interviews from Star Trek people and how tired they are from doing the con circuit for so long, and that Alan Rickman, while most of his backstory was not doing convention stuff, has still had to deal with fans, and that his entire opportunity was to just channel all of that passive aggressive annoyance into one role was completely amazing. Also, he just got to be angry at Tim Allen for an entire movie, and like, I do that for free, but he got paid. That's amazing. That movie is so good.
It really is.
I'm annoyed I didn't think of Galaxy Quest. Like, I mean, if we ignore the fact that it's like Star Trek 10, we're just ignoring that, and we're treating it as a parody, it's one of the best parodies ever made because it is better than a lot of the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it
Which
busts straight past parody and into homage and ultimately like distillation of the genre.
on the subject of parodies better than the original, I just want to bring up something I thought that occurs to me fairly often because I listen to a lot of Weird Al Yankovic. I feel like Weird Al's band in general does a better version of the song, just musically speaking, than the original artist did in most cases.
In a lot of
Probably
cases, I would believe
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of songs where I don't remember the real lyrics, but I remember the parody ones.
Yeah, I remember more about headline news than I do about.
Yeah, that's fair.
I remember the lyrics to "Think I'm a Clone Now," and I hear them even when I'm listening to the original song. It just gets superimposed. Like, why is this person bad at karaoke? What's going on?
Yeah,
Those
that
are not the words.
that happens to me on a lot of his tunes.
And every now and then, I'm like, the Star Wars version of American Pie.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, not the whole thing, just the chorus.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll definitely happen.
Jurassic Park over MacArthur Park. Yeah, every time.
Heyday. Yeah.
All about the Pentium.
Ah! I submit that All About the Pentiums is a better song than All About the Benjamins.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
definitely is. But like the fact that I remember it way better than All About the Benjamins when there was a kid in my middle school class who played All About the Benjamins constantly, and for some reason the teachers didn't just put him down. Is telling. There was the kid who did that, and the kid who played the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" from like the then current Lion King soundtrack, which should not have been on either. It's just like, what? Why are these the only songs that you two know and play publicly? What's wrong with you? Stop. I will buy you a Walkman or something, whatever was contemporary at the time, a Discman. If you will just listen to this with headphones, I do not even care.
I will buy you a mini disc player.
I will hit you with it. There will be no skip protection. It was a lie anyway.
Anyway, sorry to hijack us into Weird Al territory. But
I mean, Weird Al is very good at parody.
And he's really good at parody without making fun of the source material.
That's true.
Like, he always uses like the tune and flow of of another song to do something else.
Yeah, it's because he's actually filking.
He's actually what?
Filk is the verb. I didn't know it until a few years ago. It's where you take the melody and general like sound of a song, but you swap out all the lyrics to tell a different story. It's really
How do
popular
you spell
among like,
that?
sci-fi nerds. Filk. Sci-fi and fantasy nerds do this all the time.
All right, here's where Clues and I both Google it simultaneously.
very well.
But there's a whole world of it out there,
Huh.
and some of it's pretty catchy.
Wow.
Wait, apparently I do this all the time.
Quite possibly.
I'm constantly making up new lyrics to songs I know.
Like the first time that I knew what it was, I was at something called Worldcon, which is big dumb con, except that whenever Worldcon doesn't take place in North America and it actually takes place somewhere else in the world, they replace it with the North American Science Fiction Convention, and they did it in Raleigh of all places one year. And so I was at that helping out with some friends who were running it on shoestring budget, and that was when I discovered one, a large number of sci-fi nerds are super old. Super old. This is their world, and they've been fans since like the 60s, and they are very, very old, still be super active and fan. And two, they really like filking. And then I learned what filking was. And it's fun to say out loud because you say, oh yeah, all these old people just filking left and right. It sounds like you're saying something naughty, but it's really just like karaoke.
So it's like filching?
It sounds real bad. It's a 4-letter word with an F. At least it's not pretending to be a state. But it is a thing. And there's a lot of really catchy songs out there. I remember a lot of the time they use these songs. Like, if you remember I forget who sings it, but there's this one song that's got like a really catchy tune. It goes through each of the different Star Trek series and talks about how they're always making up technobabble. And it's, since we can swear right now, it's the USS Make Shit Up. And they pick, for every incarnation of Star Trek, they do a verse where they start throwing in all the ridiculous technobabble that they use to solve the problem. And it's really catchy, and it gets updated every time there's a new Star Trek. They're probably up to like 9 verses now. But that was filking. Just catchy old music. I promise this works better when you can hear it. But yeah, we got on the subject of parody like a long time ago.
It was good. Okay, here we go. I'm not finding anything about it being filking.
About that?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was an original song by people that filk. I don't know. That's the context I originally heard it in.
Yeah, it's by the artist Voltaire.
Voltaire,
Voltaire
is terrible.
And it's on the album Band on Vulcan.
Okay.
But the entry here on Wikipedia for Band on Vulcan doesn't say anything about it being...
Okay. It might have just been nerd song that was made up and I just heard it at a con.
Must be,
which
yeah.
could very much be the case.
Neat.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, that was a good tangent.
It was.
That was a good tangent, yeah. Let's see. Now what?
I don't know.
Oh,
Does
man.
the Paper Magic come out soon? Did anyone ever hear an update on that?
What was that?
On what?
If the Paper Magic set is actually coming out.
No one cares.
Of Ikoria?
Yeah.
Yeah, its pre-release is this Friday or Saturday. I don't know. You can do pre-release at home. You can order a pre-release at home kit from your friendly local game store. Hey, you know, I would actually suggest that if you don't have a friendly local game store, you could order it from Atomic Empire in Durham, North Carolina. It's a great shop. You should check it out, and they will send one to you.
There you go. But if you have a local game shop, get it from them.
That's right. That's right. Support them. But here you go, chat. I've pasted a link for you.
We went straight to the item.
Yeah, well, I've got it up in my browser because after I get off this show, I'm going to order myself one. Because why not?
So,